Yo!
Yo.
Everyone.
Sorry, I know it was over 11 minutes. I had a lot of technical issues on my end, microphone, shit, stuff, shenanigans, but we're here. We are here.
Chapter 226. We are officially in the end game now. Master Rules have their matchups. Julia is going down to Apaki. And likely we're going to get some interaction between them first, because Fuuko said to hold on for 10 minutes.
Yep. 10 minutes. 10 minutes, 11 minutes. We're always on minutes in this series.
Was the first Ragnarok, was it 11 minutes or 10 minutes?
I think so, because it was like 11 seats for 11 minutes or something like that.
Okay.
Yo, Lauren, what's up? What's up?
Hello.
You know somebody I haven't seen in a while? Someone.
It's been a little while.
I remember he's always be like, first. And now usually Lauren's the one that's first. What'd you do to him, Lauren?
He's been replaced in this loop. I think he did join the Discord though, unironically.
I think so, yeah.
Vince is finally going to make his return. I know he's been busy with schoolwork, but it's going to be good to see him again. Let's see. There's a couple people that I think only watched the anime. I don't think that they hopped in the manga with us. So it'd probably be nice to see them come January when we get back to the winter special.
Yep. It's good times right now. We're reacting to peak, man. We react to peak around here. Okay? You go to our channel, you're in for a nice treat. Everything that we watch is just superb. It's just nothing's garbage, okay? No. I can't wait for that one
nice
series.
Treat.
One day.
Which one?
No, I'm saying like I just can't wait for a series that we watch that's like
bad.
Yeah.
I mean, fingers crossed it hasn't happened yet. We've been talking about recently how there's been kind of a fall off as it relates to a lot of anime series continuations. So Blue Lock, absolute trash. What was another one we were talking about?
Uzumaki, like
Uzumaki did have a fall off.
but...
I haven't seen it yet, episode 2, but I will be watching it. Let's see, Vince, we were just talking about you. Welcome back.
Welcome.
Uzumaki had a fall off. Blue Lock, terrible.
Tower of God.
Tower of God season 2. Yep.
And then, like, just in recent years, Ninja Kamubi, I heard that fell the fuck off.
Oh my god.
There's something else too. That's wild. Wi-Fi, Lauren. Shout out to your Wi-Fi for being good. That...
Unfortunately, are you in like stateside? Are you where the hurricanes hit? Hopefully not. Hopefully that's just an internet issue that you're dealing with. But either way, Uzumaki was to be expected. I mean, I guess, but like, damn, you got 5 years to do 4 episodes, 20-something minutes long, and then it's like episode 1 was great. I really liked it. I will eventually release my reaction to it on my own channel. But
and Vince, you're not wrong. But I feel like that episode 1, from what I've seen, it looked a lot of the shots were very much like the manga. It's like they traced right over it.
You were in the hurricane. My apologies.
Hope everything's going well now. That was wild seeing that on the news.
I have a friend that actually lives in Tampa, so I think he had to evacuate. So I feel you. Hopefully everything's going better though.
Welcome back, Vince. Welcome back.
Yeah, I am so obsessed with Dandadan. You took it right out of my mouth. Like, I am obsessed. I read the first 2 chapters. Apparently, that's all the first 2 episodes covered. Was the first 2 chapters. Granted, you know how they always have like the first chapter and a half or 2 chapters that are like extended to get a taste of the series, set up
Right.
the premise and everything. But yeah, I'm kind of surprised. I thought there would be at least like chapter 3 or 4 covered already, but pacing. Welcome, Gavin. That's another series we have to watch.
Oh shit, I forgot.
We have to watch.
You said
that.
it fell off? Maybe not. No, I'm just playing. I'm sorry.
Well, that sounds like an Undead Unluck.
Damn. Who is that?
Evil Knievel over there.
It's like every time I have my window open, it's like, yeah, noise, yeah, let's go. But when it's closed, literally nothing.
No, but we do have to watch that because the opening and ending videos did so well. I'd say it's up to like 13K now or something. But
that OP gets better and better.
Mm-hmm.
Shout out to Creepy Nuts, man.
Welcome, Clicks. All right. We've kind of, dilly-dallied a little bit. Anything you want to say before we get started?
Nope. Well, I guess. Matchups. That's pretty much what we've set up for Julia things last chapter. Apocalypse. Her getting memories and information from Apocalypse. I called that. I was like, I guess that would work, and we would probably see the origins, which I'm hoping for. That's something I'm very much hoping for, to see the origins of what happened. How did you become player one? You and Victor, how did this start? But other than that, that's pretty much all I got. And you're up first this week, so take it away when you're ready.
All right, guys, so what we're going to do, since we are a dual reaction channel, for anyone joining us for the first time or those who haven't been here for a little while, just as a quick reminder, Vontae is going to take off his camera, going to take off his mic. I'm going to blind react to the chapter with one spoiler that I've had. And then once he gets done with that, or once I get done with that, I'm going to pull Vontae back in, and then we're just going to get started. So make sure you guys join our Discord. I unexpectedly thought I had it, ready to go, but that is not the case. So let me get that pulled up real quick. I will go ahead and share that in the chat, and then we can get started. I feel like we've been growing pretty well sub-wise on the channel, but not necessarily with the Discord. I feel like a lot of you did already join, but feel free to if you're interested. If you're not, that's perfectly fine. So with that being said, let me go ahead and get started. I did get one spoiler, and that is going to be about a brief interaction between two characters, that being Julia and Apocalypse. So let's see how that is introduced into this. All right, chapter 226, Apocalypse. Yusai got her wooden katana up against Justice. Billy and Tella are behind cover, much like Warzone. Andy and Fuuko, the Gat and the Katana, fighting off against Death and Luck, with the juniors coming out. Beam still coming down from Sun. Okay, Change. She is starting to go on the offensive versus Gina. Oh, Rip looks like he's already bleeding, or that might be the aerosol contaminant. Shen and Mui going after Uma Time, just chilling. Apocalypse. Those memories ingrained in you. I, Julia, you, Statia, am going to take them. Julia? Okay, Julia, listen up. At the moment, we lack an effective attack against the Master Rules. The best we can do is buy time. And if we hope to land a blow against Sun, we'll need Unjustice to take out the satellites. Okay, just showing more of the little fights. Wow, Rip is really struggling. I didn't expect that to be like almost instantaneous defeat on his end. He looks like he's on the ropes. Billy, shooting off. Tella trying to protect his six. Sitting atop the round table is Apocalypse. You'll need to touch him and trigger Unjustice's manifestation by looking at the memories contained within him of your past self. The reason I'm not using Remember is because it's impossible to recreate Miss Juice's manifestation. It occurred in far too unique of a world and time period. I like this. A lot of the fandom was asking why we couldn't just use Remember first, but we need Unjustice the power. Makes sense. I believe the only chance we have at manifesting it is if you remain yourself. Touch Apocalypse and find the memories needed for the manifestation. It's okay. I can navigate through these attacks, but ta-ting, ting, ting. Are the pages coming out of Apocalypse? That's crazy. But will I really be able to see her memories if I touch him? When Apocalypse streamed memories into Mr. Nico and you in the past, he could activate it whenever he wanted, right? Sorry guys, got some sinus issues today, so bear with me if I kind of sound like I'm choked up. I'm not emotional yet. I might be, but not yet. There is no guarantee that Apocalypse will stream memories into me, even if I do touch him. Daijobu. Just believe. In what? The heart of the cards, of course. In the very thing the injustice of the past acknowledged. Apocalypse's vision of justice. Burns coming down. Is this a double spread? No, it is not. Interesting. Huh? Burn? But I thought we captured them. No, it's much too small. Could it be a fake? He is the one artifact that can intentionally use memories. Does Apocalypse have Genjutsu? Now that he's powered up, he can materialize them too. Yeah, Genjutsu, is it real? Is it not real? It's real if you believe it. Not on my watch. Well done, engine. Oh my god, my chair almost broke. I need to get that upgraded too. Mr. Engine, I'm this thing's weakness. Leave 'em to me. Roger that. Here comes Spoil. A different Uma. What is it? Leave this one to me. Top. Miss Ishin. Thank you very much. Apocalypse looking on. The paneling, I don't know if it's because my eyes are going, but it doesn't seem as clean as it used to be, or at least that I'm become accustomed to for Tozuka. What do you guys think of the paneling so far, up to page 7? She is like her. Have you forgotten your current duty, Apocalypse? Kill her. Ga Juga. Oh, Soul is directly inputting his power. You used to impose insurmountable quest to destroy them and make them struggle. But all of that is over. You have only one duty now. Never mind the rules of the game. Nip injustice in the bud. That is your final duty. Your final quest. Damn, Julia. Just like her predecessor, the arm is gone, or at least the hand. Julia, hold tight, we're coming. Daijobu. I believe in my and his vision of justice. You could have killed me in one bite if you wanted to, right, Apocalypse? Nande. Huh? Why do you all persevere? Why do you get stronger? Why do you never surrender? Why? Was that Apocalypse? Was that? People grow along with the quest. You watch people the most out of anyone in the world. Say what? Victor says it all the time, that the quests you choose are the worst, but also the best around. Thank you. Before I go any further, this is absolutely the case. One of my favorite phrases is tough times make strong men, and weak times make weak men, for lack of a better term, is because you grow through adversity. And it's great that Apocalypse almost seems like he has been our ace up the sleeve, which is unironically not leading well to our tier list for today. So we are going to talk about dieability, or the likelihood that someone will die. Him going against Soul directly, what Soul wants, this is not looking good for Apocalypse's chances of survival, especially with him having this direct connection to Juiz and thereby the Union. All right, let's continue. Your quests are the very things that have made us humans stronger. Bakuna, my control over him. Oh. And that was the panel I was spoiled on. The Uma, they're gone. Grip. You too, Apocalypse? Ba-bum. Totter. I? Huh? Apoc? I? He got grabbed? Was blessed with good players. Apocalypse? An infraction of the game's rules. Quest successful. I will not stand for it. Take it. Is this going to be hard? No matter who does it, even God himself. Double spread, let's change it over. I'm giving you all Victor and Juiz's memories. As the rulebook, this act is my final just reward. Oh, he's going to sleep. He's a book now. This is a great chapter. I wish I wasn't spoiled on the Juiz, or pardon me, Julia hugging Apocalypse, but yeah, this is a great chapter. All right, let's see what you guys are talking about. Scratches. Uma of Fair Justice. I like that. So the domain of Soul is... Where is he? I want to go back and look. I guess he's just kind of like in a void area on his chair looking. I guess that might be the inside of the celestial bodies around Sun. Okay, yeah, great chapter. I really liked it. And unless there's anything else you guys want to talk about, I will get Vontae in here. Sorry, I don't feel like this was my best reaction to date on the channel, but that's what happens when you get some spoilers. Clicks. That's funny. Soul, yes, he is intimidating, but he takes a lot of L's. All right. Let me get Vontae in here. Have you guys been watching the Dandadan anime recently? Vontae and I have. It has been very fun. It reminds me a little bit of the wonkiness of early Undead Unluck. So if you guys have not peeped Dandadan yet, I would highly recommend it.
Good. Ooh.
Welcome back.
It's good. What is going on? Hold on.
You're a little choppy.
Forget about it. Forget about it. I don't know what's going on today.
Jesus Christ.
Rough day.
Rough day. Rough day in the office. I'm sorry. You guys can't see my camera. Yeah. Rough day. All right. I'm ready to get into this chapter. Let's see what we got going on.
I know.
POV switch to like one of the matchups, or we're still going with the Julia stuff going on right now with what does she have with her? Or out with the
Just a heads up.
engine. He's not
I
there.
don't know if it's only on my end, but you are a little loud. I don't know if anyone else also has that, or if it's just my settings.
Let me know.
Yeah, so did you guys think Vante was a little bit loud, or he's good? I mean, I'll just turn down the volume on my computer if that's the case.
Let me see something. This off, this off. Okay.
Yeah, just a bit. So either way,
Just
you
a
can
bit.
either talk a little bit quieter,
I
or
honestly,
I can turn it down.
is it still loud?
No, it's
I
fine.
say
It's fine.
it does look real loud. Okay.
Let's just go.
I don't know what's going on today. Everything's just messing up. I don't know.
It's Soul. Trying his damnedest.
Yes, blame him.
All right, enjoy the chapter, man.
226. Okay, we're seeing everything. Okay, the different matchups and whatnot. Billy looking cool as hell. Why's his back turned? Yusai and Justice, so they clashing. Shin and Mui. So yeah, all the matchups change, unchanged, and Rip in Latla against Sick. All right. Apocalypse, those memories ingrained in you. I, Julia, you, Sticia, am going to take them. Okay, Julia, listen up. At the moment, we lack an effective attack against the Master Rules. The best we can do is buy time. And if we hope to land a blow against Sun, we'll need Injustice to take out the satellites. Sitting atop the round table is Apocalypse. You'll need to touch him and trigger Injustice manifestation. Is contained within him of your past self. The reason I'm not using nice. Okay, so we get an answer as to, because we were theorizing last week, or everybody was like, why, But the reason I'm not using remember is because it's impossible to recreate Miss Juice's manifestation. It occurred in far too unique of a world and time period. Okay. I believe the only chance we have at manifesting it is if you remain yourself. Right. Touch Apocalypse and find the memories needed for the manifestation. Okay, I like it. Like Tezuka, it's, I don't know if this would be an example of him not necessarily speed running, because it could still be fast. Like you can still do two of these things. Like one, get the memories or touch Apocalypse and then use remember, or get those memories to get the manifestation and whatnot. But I like that. It's more steps to this whole process versus just immediately getting remembered. Memories. Like, nah. It's okay. I can navigate through these attacks, but will I be able to see her memories if I touch them? When Apocalypse or Nico and you in the past, he could activate it whenever he wanted, right? There's no guarantee that Apocalypse will stream memories into me, even if I do touch it. Don't worry. Just believe in what? In the very thing the injustice of the past acknowledged. Apocalypse's vision of justice. Whoa, wait a minute. I see burn. That burn? Yeah, it is burn. What? Burn? But I thought we captured them. No, it's too much. It's too much, too small. Could it be a fake? He is the one artifact that can use memories. Now that he's powered up, can he materialize them too? Whoa. Kind of remind me of Lon versus Nico. It was a manifestation of the words, but that's wild. Damn. Not on my watch. Oh, they're going. Hey, engine, yes sir. It was like, where you at? Because we seen Fuuko made the call. The boss made the call. Like, hey, pull up. He's there, and it makes sense that he's here while burnt. Perfect. Unburned, Mr. Engine. I'm this thing. Me. Roger that. A different Uma. What is it? Spoil. It's funny. Everything that we talked about last week, we're getting all of it in this chapter. We was talking about burn. We talked about spoil. We talked about obviously the whole remember or apocalypse situation. Leave this one to us, Mr. Top. Thank you very much. Boom, got his ass. She is like her. That's how you know we're really in the end game. Getting burned and spoiled like this now at the same time. Where move at? Have you forgotten your current duty, Apocalypse? Kill her. Yeah. Was that soul? You need to impose insurmountable quests to destroy them and make them struggle. But all of that is over. You'll have only one duty now. Never mind the rules of the game. Nip injustice in the bud. He said, fuck the game. You gotta take her out. I mean, he not lying, because she's literally their kryptonite. That is your final duty. Your final quest. Damn. Julia. Okay. Oh, shit. Damn. Julia, hold tight. We're coming. God damn. He bite her arm off or bite her hand off? If so, that's kind of ironic. Because what happened to Julia back in winter? Julia, hold tight. We're coming. Don't worry. I believe in my... You could have killed me in one bite if you wanted to, right, Apocalypse? And that's something I talked about too. That Apocalypse, he has a soft spot for Juiz. Out of anybody, for sure, her. For sure. So, and Julia in proximity to Juiz makes sense. Why? Why, huh? Why do you all persevere? Why do you get stronger? Why do you never surrender? Why? Apocalypse. Well, that people grow along with the quest, and there we go. That you watch people the most out of anyone in the world say what? Victor says it all the time, that the quests you choose are the worst, but also the best around. Thank you. I mean, if I was Apocalypse, I would probably, since by design he does what he's kind of supposed to do, I probably feel like this too. Like, why the fuck? Like, you guys keep persevering. Like, what the hell? You face the end of the world countless times, essentially, and shit, not even get there. A lot of times, die before it happens. So, that is wild. Your quests are the very things that have made us humans stronger. It can't be. My control over him. I like that. So, like, oh shit, I cannot. He's been with Julia, or Juiz. That's Soul. We haven't seen any other times you interacted with him. Well, obviously we didn't know the Master Rules early in the story, but obviously Juiz is the person. He's crying. Oh, the Uma. Okay. You too, Apocalypse? Oh shit. I was blessed with good players. For the love of the game, man. That could be a title of the string. That could be the other title. An infraction of this game's rules. I will not stand for it, no matter who does it, even God himself. Quest successful. Take it. Damn, it's really for the love of the game. He said, I don't give a fuck if it's God or not. All right, I'm not playing fake. We done a lot of bullshit over time, but hey, this time was kind of nope. I ain't gonna lie, that's huge for Apocalypse character. Like, what? That's some insane character growth. I'm giving you all of Victor's and Juiz's memories as the rule book. This act is just reward. Wow, I like that panel too. On the table, in the seat or on the where the first seat is. She's holding the book, resting the book, her crying above the book. You see Apocalypse crying right there, and they're all. And then in the next chapter, it looks like we're going to get the memories and stuff. Damn, this was a really good chapter. I don't know what I expected, but it was better than like not. I don't know. I feel like it was going to be more of a getting her to Apocalypse. I thought it was going to be more of that, but I'm glad that we actually like popped up. Sheen and Top popped up, dealt with Burn and Spoil, and we got right to him.
I did not realize this while reading, but go back to page 15. Read page 15. And then switch the page to the first panel of page 16.
Did I see Soul? Obviously, his hand started shining.
Soul crushed Apocalypse's soul. So he killed him.
Oh, okay. I can see. You see the vein on his hand. Yeah, that definitely does put a lot of emphasis on it. Yeah. Damn. That's actually really sad. I ain't gonna lie though. Like for real, I give Apocalypse a lot of respect because he stayed true to the game. He said, "Even God, if you."
He had a role.
Go, yeah,
he had a
and he played it. He played it the best. Damn.
And even like his motivations to like uphold the rules of the game, like he says, "I will not stand for it."
Yeah. Damn. See, I don't even care if my creator's the one. Like, I don't care if the creator is or cheating. Nope. Hell no. It's like a referee in sports. Like when it comes to like a superstar athlete that's like trying to get their way.
I am the commissioner of the league. I'm telling you to do that. No, the love of the game. The love of the game. Unfortunately, I was spoiled on that top panel for page 15, so I kind of knew where we were going to go with this chapter. Even still, it was great.
Hold on real quick.
Yep. All right, let me take a look at the chat. Yeah, that's a good point, Vince. Like, for whatever reason, I don't feel like the Master Rules, Luna, Sun, I don't think that they ever gave that appreciation to not only Apocalypse, but like the role that he played in the story, because he was a vital part. Like, without the rules, there is no game. You can't play a game with no rules. And he was the only thing that was giving humanity any sort of hope. But now it's like, it goes back to like, what is Luna doing? She's playing both sides. Is Sun alive? Is he under her thumb? Luna's just weird, man. She's just weird. You are correct. Again, I was not spoiled on Burn coming back. Not spoiled on Spoil coming back, unironically. It's so... He's kind of getting on my nerves a bit. Granted, I don't know what his end game is going to be in the story, or like what's his motivations presently. But it's just, there's something about him that just has like bitch-made energy. Like you're interfering with the rule book. Like, that's how far you're going to win. Do the ends truly justify the means? I don't know if I agree with that. I mean, you can do what you want. I'm not your mother, but... Yeah. Again, Clicks, that's a good point. For Apocalypse, he has been about the rules since we met him. Like, he gave out the penalties if they failed. He gave out the rewards if they succeeded. You think Soul is possessed? My question would then be by who would Soul be possessed by? Are you saying like Luna? Luna is using him in the game? And with him being like the first rule, and all of the master rules and all the rules thereon after, including the humans as the negators, does he have any sort of like parental, like kinship to the inhabitants in this world? That's a good point. What did you guys think about Rip kind of being on the ropes, so to speak, with Sick? Like, I know it took all 15 of us to beat him last time, and it was only with the help of Andy that we were able to prevail. But for some reason, I expected him to put up a little bit better of a fight this time around.
Was that?
Sorry. I was just commenting on Rip seems to be on the ropes.
Oh, yeah.
Versus the fight with Sick.
Yep.
And like, I understand like some of the other negators, like they're not doing much better, but he seems like he's almost about to lose. Like Latla had to jump in front of him. Yeah,
I was like, God damn, Rip. That's how you know we about to hear a whole lot of screaming and yelling. Come on, Yukikachi. Come on, man.
I was thinking before I came to the realization that Apocalypse is now probably dead, that he might be able to manifest a physical body of Juiz and a physical body of Victor for them to live out their life, because he has the memories of them. They said this chapter he's manifesting the memories. So I did kind of call that last week, but I think that was now shut down with him now being closed.
I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if that was like a last ditch effort. Like once Julia does, like once the next chapter when we see her completely, I guess, manifest them, that could happen. Since he kind of like gave her like the key to do it in a way.
You think so, or you think he just gave her the memories? I don't think he necessarily gave her the power to manifest them.
No, I'm not saying he gave her the power necessarily. I'm saying that like him allowing her to, like, I guess, quote unquote, put the key in for him to do it. Because I feel like, because usually when like when Uma's died, it kind of like wither away, right? Okay. And I know he's an artifact though, but he hasn't done that yet. So maybe, like, I'm just going back to like what you were predicting, like maybe that can still happen. Because the whole point was to like not to get the memories, get the information. Julia can still be herself, and I think there's a big reason why she can still be herself while we can also still get Victor and Juiz. Because I feel like us as readers would accept it if she manifested into her or not. Like, we're cool with her being Julia, we're cool with her if she did end up manifesting as Juiz, but I think they made Tezuka made like a big thing for it to be, I guess, kind of, there's an opening for Victor and Juiz to have like manifested bodies. Will it happen? Probably not, but I think there's something there.
Interesting. So would you say then, with that reasoning, that those two are officially like out of the picture, or you think it
No.
more so opens the door for them to come back and be
Yeah.
separate? Okay.
In some way, it might not even be them manifesting into like actual bodies, but they're gonna. Juiz and Victor still gonna play a part in the story for sure.
And another little small detail I just wanted to quickly discuss, or at least bring to your attention in case you missed it or just kind of overlooked it. Juiz, as a part of her attire, has worn gloves, and she was wearing gloves when she was petting Apocalypse, which also prevented him from transferring the memories to her if she had not been wearing the gloves. I just thought that was a cool little touch. Like, it wasn't like explicitly stated, but I just thought it was a cool little, in canon reasoning for Juiz's design.
Julia disappeared. Who said that, Vince? I don't think she's gonna disappear.
No. That's not what I was speculating in terms of that point. She's still gonna be her own self. I think that was confirmed last chapter.
Yeah.
Fuuko's like, hey, do your own thing. Like, come to your own understanding and, decision. Oh, you're just speculating? Yeah, I don't think she will either. I think she's here to the end game.
How about say if she did, I would be. No, I would not. I would definitely not like that at all.
Another thing that I noticed is that when Soul was trying to take over the decision-making process for Apocalypse, you notice how his eyes are like completely black?
Mm-hmm.
That almost directly juxtaposes every time we've seen a character use soul powers, because they've had lighter irises. So I think someone in chat earlier when I was reacting, they had asked me if I thought he was possessed by something or someone.
He's just locked in. It's like Ichibe, bro. Remember?
It could be that too.
There's something just locked in. No, I do think he really, and I like that. But once again, man, I'm gonna keep saying this. Well, we're gonna get it. Okay, we'll eventually get to the matchups. But Soul has way more, and it's not even just focus, like that's obvious, than his counterparts in the rest of the Master Rules. But like, he's very much the MC, and
let me clarify. I feel like he is a wannabe MC.
I mean, yeah, same difference, I guess. Like he
would be an MC under different circumstances. He's like an Obito.
Exactly. I don't want the the other ones to. I don't think they will. Once again, we have matchups for a reason, so we can get that. But like, I don't know. It's just the way that the manga is moving, like just the pacing, and I just don't. This is somewhat of a segue to what we're going to talk about next, but like, I'm still in fear of a quote unquote clean slate on our end. Like, I think people will die. Like, very few, like 2. I think there's gonna be 2 confirmed ones. But like, I don't know, the Master Rule is just like, yes, they are powerful. We already seen that from Sick and obviously with Lon and Beast, like all the stuff that we had to do to even beat them. But something about them, it's just their characterization. It's like we need more from them. We can't just have them be an opposing force that's a really good threat, and they're strong, but they don't have any characterization. It's just Soul mostly that had that. And Lon, even though Lon's is very just one thing specifically with her and Nico, and that was kind of it.
But that's what made that interaction so great, is there were personalized reasons why she was going up against her. Or going up against him, I should say. I just need more of that from Tozuka.
I hope we get more of it, because I think half of them won't have that at all. Which is not a bad thing, but like...
It's just how he decides to write them, but I would like more if that is on the table.
The writing is too one-sided for the heroes, which, like, okay, of course you want to make your own cast, like your main cast of characters. You want to give them all the focus or the characterization that you possibly can. Mm-hmm. But like, when you really think about it, the best villains in this series, the best antagonists in this series are the ones who are on our side now. So I'm not gonna say it's cheap, because it's not. That's not the word I want to use. It's not cheap, but it's just like, if you already knew that they were going to be comrades, convenient. Yeah, that's more appropriate. It's a little too convenient.
I don't know, Clicks. We'll find out next time on Dragon Ball Z.
Just as I think at some point they will, once they start really using their abilities, because they can't move.
I think it's when the helmet comes off, we'll finally get some from Justice, whether they're a male, female, child,
right?
Chibi.
You know, it'd be pretty cool. I doubt it's going to happen, but I don't know. Sometimes I was thinking about, I don't even know how it would happen. But what if Victor, like, you know how Julia is like Juiz 2.0? What if Victor got reincarnated too, and this whole time we just didn't know? He was just like some random regular boy somewhere.
Reincarnated Victor. Interesting.
And just this whole time, then we're just gonna learn that in the epilogue versus like seeing anything from him presently now. And then they just somehow meet each other somewhere. Like Julia goes to a bookstore or something, and then she meets Victor.
Oh, and they have a random meeting or something, like love at first sight again.
Yeah, that'd be pretty cool. But I don't know what's the logistics behind him being reincarnated. I would assume that he'll still be in Andy's body, but who knows?
I mean, I like the idea, and then you can also think about like what Soul has been trying to do in terms of manipulating the other side behind the scenes. So he's tried to do this to Apocalypse. Who's to say that he didn't separate Andy and Victor previously? Like at the start of this loop.
Something I didn't think about. Well, still, we don't really know. I'd assume he's just still dormant in his mind. What if it was something like his essence stuck with Rebellion?
Oh, because they fused?
Yeah.
And this also makes me think, like, what about the artifacts that are sentient? So, like, we saw that Soul, we assume, or at least I should say, I assume, he was able to crush the soul of Apocalypse, because Apocalypse was sentient. So there has to be some sort of soul capability of Rebellion? Question mark? Do you think maybe Victor would become Aegis? His soul would be put into Aegis? Because you had Rebellion go onto the saber of Juiz. Like, that'd be pretty cool if Julia had a saber with Juiz's sword and a shield with Victor's soul in it.
That would be pretty cool. Pretty sure Andy was speaking to Victor in the last chapter. Probably.
That is also the assumption, but we don't know if Andy has actually interacted with Victor this loop.
Yeah,
we don't know for sure. It's likely that he has. I don't know. Interesting stuff, though.
I don't know. Like, it's actually really hard to call. Like off rip, the one answer we can all say is that he's like dormant in Andy's mind.
Yep, Occam's razor.
But like, Hmm. I'm just wondering if we're gonna get like a flashback between like conversations that they had over those fucking years. Because then that could also be one reason why Andy got so goddamn strong too. Kind of trained up with
I
Victor.
also love that this like memory dump is going to allow us more characterization of Apocalypse, and especially after this chapter. Like, we can just get more and more and more. We could see his reaction to Juiz stabbing Victor in the brain with Remember, and him being like, are you sure about that? You love him, don't you?
Right.
No, I really liked today's chapter. It was excellent, even though I got spoiled in the context of what was going on.
Great character growth for Apocalypse. But another notion that we're definitely in the end game. I mean, obviously, but like Apocalypse dying, like a character like that dying, is always like, oh yeah, we're in the end. Because he's been there since the beginning. So yeah.
Okay, guys, so you might have seen I did pull up the tier list. What we're going to do today, unironically, given today's chapter contents, we are going to predict who we feel at this point is likely to die before the end of the series. Now, do you want to do this before I'm talking like the last chapter, or do you want to talk about in this loop?
You see, a good question, because if we're going with Andy, he ain't gonna die during this final war. But I can see him dying in the epilogue and getting his dream. So,
Can we count that though?
I mean, you said before the end of the series, so, or that when it ends. So, I mean,
I'm just asking, like, for
I think it counts.
Purposes, how do you want to do it?
I mean, I see what you mean. Like, it doesn't necessarily count because it's like, well, it's epilogue and you're in the future, time skip, whatever, blah blah blah. So whatever. I guess we'll just before the epilogue.
Okay, so before the epilogue. If that is the case, not a chance.
Nope.
Okay, guys. So for clarification, this will be dying before the epilogue. So, assumedly, we've taken care of Luna. We've fixed the world as much as we can.
Where's Apocalypse on this list, man? It's the disrespect. I think Apocalypse is kind of likely. You know what I'm saying? Maybe like a coin flip, something like that. You know.
All right. Next up, we have Billy.
It was weird. I used to always say like, yeah, but like, he's the kind of character that I can see in the epilogue with his family, you know, with his wife, his daughter. I think he might be like handicapped or something, like paralyzed, something like that. I can see he's that kind of character, you know, that the mentor character that, you know, got no more juice left in him. He's still here though. You know, it's like, spoiler alert, Levi, Mike guy, you know what I'm saying? Like,
good call.
The mentor, the unks.
I do think there is a possibility he could die, but I would also see it. So that's kind of hinting at where I'm going to put him. But I could see it either way. So because of that, I'm going to put him in coin flip. Okay. Next up, we have Nico Vorgil.
Absolutely not.
Not a chance.
Because Miko. It's like absolutely not.
She doesn't even exist yet.
Exactly.
She has to exist.
Not.
She has to exist. Not a chance. Okay, Philip.
in terms of like pulling on the heartstrings, I'd go for it. Like I would make that decision about Suzuka.
I mean, he
But
was already self-sacrificial during the
yeah.
retrieval arc.
But if like say if the powers like don't exist no more, I see him in epilogue being a happy little boy.
Okay, so let's come up with a decision based on, do we think that all of the powers will be removed? Do we think it'll be up to the person if they can be removed? Like, would people want to keep their abilities if that's the case? It's a tough one. I don't really know where I'd put him.
I mean, because like you said, he is very like sacrificial. Like it's just his whole being. That's kind of what he is. Like so, just by like the realism, technically, yes, he would be more prone to dying than anybody. I feel, but no pun intended. But and Suzuka killing children, he did. He killed. Yeah, exactly. He killed plenty of children. Ragnarok. But we get you though, Alves. We get you. Like in terms of like,
welcome.
Specific. Despite Chikara, he always getting fucked up though. So like he was the first one that. But Agu, she got. Hey, Suzuka, he had no problem with the kids. He killed them in the worst ways too.
If I had to give a ranking, I would say unlikely for now. Because he's not even technically on the battlefield fighting a master role.
Right.
So last loop during Ragnarok, he did self-sacrifice. I think this time maybe we'll have like someone clutch come in to save him. Just in time.
Something though, I feel like okay, we can put him in unlikely. But I do feel like he like the whole thing about like not being able to express emotions. I feel like Suzuka will do it in a poetic way where if he were to like sacrifice and save them, like his comrades, that the expression of the emotion comes from them, but like the sentiment was from him. Like he'll do like a workaround with that.
Okay.
Because that is like his whole thing. It was character. Like what happens after? Say if the powers still do exist, what happens with his character afterwards? So what would they do with him?
I mean, This is one of those characters, Vontae, that like there is so much potential for him. It just hasn't been realized. Him, like healing himself with food, like that's new. That has not been revisited since we got it.
Right. I just feel like still being the same in the end, that can't happen. So regardless if he dies or the powers don't exist no more, he can live normally, or if somehow Nico or somebody created something for him to be a little different. Like there needs to be something, because like you just said, that was something that he progressed in with him eating food to heal himself. So like if he is alive at the end of the story, something has to change. He cannot be the same. So either he has to die, the powers don't exist no more, or something drastically has to change to allow him to express himself or something. Because then there'll be no point. My bad, Vince. I don't know what's going on with the volume.
Getting louder?
Yeah, I don't know what's going on.
Sorry, guys.
Usually I'm below.
We just forewarning, we might update our streaming, you want to call it platform here pretty soon. It'll still go to YouTube, but we are definitely thinking about a change. There's been a couple of issues with StreamYard, unfortunately, that have not been able to be fixed. But I'll put them in unlikely for now. We can probably move them a little bit later on if you want, but for now, I think that's a pretty good spot for them.
Ruin, get your ass up to you're imminent. You're dead. I mean,
yeah, that's really the first one to where like you gotta die.
Like, there's nothing. Like, no offense to you, but there really ain't nothing for him in this world after, especially whatever he comes to terms with about his existence and God and all that. Ain't nothing
You want to
for
talk
him.
about self-sacrificial type? I feel like the bad loop attack that Andy and Fuuko put on him, he's definitely gonna have a change of heart by the time he comes back down to Earth.
Yeah.
Okay, next up, Tatiana.
Absolutely not.
Do I
She's a
break
model.
it out now or not?
Hmm?
Do I do it? I think I'll
What?
do it. So, guys, we had a hidden tier. Little surprise.
Really?
That would be a shocking death.
Really? Well, I mean,
so.
okay. Yeah, I mean, technically, yeah. But, like, do you see it happening? That's the other part.
Well, the shocking tier, it's because it's mostly unlikely for it to happen.
Mm-hmm.
But we want to talk about Chikara and her. She is trying to find herself as a young woman, and her looking up to Fuuko is kind of like an older sister this time around. Again, this tier is going to be very unlikely, but if it happens, oh my god.
Yeah, it ain't happening. But yeah, that's the point for sure. But if you, okay, so I have my answer, but I'm gonna also say that person like would like that it would be shocking, but in reality, that person's in a different tier. If that makes sense. So kind of like with Tatiana, like obviously, like no, but like she's in shocking.
You know, I'll move her out. I was half doing that for the memes, but yes, that is a tier that we had hidden.
Yeah,
but I will.
I'll do the same thing.
Probably unlikely. Like, there's a chance, but not a very.
Actually, no, I changed my answer.
Where do you think she should be?
No. For my pick.
Oh, okay. All right, so next up, we are going to go to Lucy, which, I don't know. Like, who are you?
Yeah.
To our knowledge, you're not even alive this loop, so who's to say? Okay. Next up, Top Bull Sparks.
In terms of like realism, he won't. He honestly, he's a soldier out there. He's one of the ones that put in the most work. But he's like he has a really high success rate. He doesn't really get messed up bad like everybody else does.
Plus, he's wearing the unbreakable armor from his girlfriend.
Aside from that, yeah.
So I would say maybe below Phil.
Yeah. Oh boy.
You want me to do it?
Sure. So the real shocking.
Yeah.
Like the real deal. I know this is probably a little confusing for you guys, but we was talking about it before. I don't know, we just kind of spitball like, should we have like a shocking tier and then just put like characters that A would be very shocking and B that actually makes sense pretty much. And Sean really fits that bill.
Yeah, both narratively speaking and then also for this tier list.
Yeah.
So to kind of clarify what the shocking tier kind of means to me since I created this list is like, how would I rank it in terms of like likelihood? But then I could also see like Tozuka in terms of introducing stakes into the series in this final conflict. We talked about earlier at length that the master rules, they don't really seem intimidating at this point. So having a death that is very unlikely actually happen, that's what would be the shocking tier. So if you see them in the shocking tier, it's likely, or they would be in the unlikely tier, if that makes sense.
Yeah. I have a really good one. And we'll get to that person.
Okay. All right, guys. So next up, we have Fang Kowloon. We're not even going to have a discussion about this.
That boy dead.
If there's anyone that's a dead man walking, it is literally Fang and not
Mama
literally
Fang.
Ruin. Best mom Fang. Okay, Akira Kuno dying before the epilogue.
No.
Not a chance. Absolutely not. I could see Nico dying before Akira because Akira is the self-insert for Tozuka. Gotta write the epilogue. So the story about how you
said
guys
Nico?
win.
Oh, I don't know why I thought you said Miko. For help us to damn.
Oh, sorry.
You going to the lens for that? Like you that safe, huh?
No, Akira's got to be there to write the story about how they won. So Akira's also not a combatant, which also works in his favor.
Very epilogue. Like that's epilogue. Character number one in epilogue that we get some focus would definitely be Akira.
Epilogue Kun.
Fang isn't even pregnant yet. Right?
Fuuko, Izumo are female MC. Hot take?
No, I think I agree. Whatever you were you thinking?
I'm thinking here.
Yep, exactly.
There is so much of this storyline and the character dynamics that Fuuko is the quintessential character foil now that she has been designated as the Looper. And I think it would hurt so much if she were to die before Andy does and he has to grow up without her.
Ooh. Oh, hey, for the epilogue, that'd be really good. Like that's like another hurdle to go over of adversity.
You see
for one
him
of our MCs
in front of her grave, and he's like, "I'll join you soon."
Oh,
because he knows that he's not undead. Yes, he's just waiting for death. He has to wait another 50 years, let's just say.
And with his dream, it kind of looks like he more so wants to be like the granddad or like just the insert granddad of somebody's family. So whoever in the union, like probably one of the younger characters, start a big family, and he's like,
it would hurt. I almost got choked up like explaining that situation. Whew.
Kind of like AOT. It reminds me of that a little bit.
If you know, you know. Yeah, you know. All right, next up, Void Volks, the boxer who has not got
very disposable
any focus. Yes.
He's extremely disposable. It's like it's easy to just kill him off. I mean, you did it before, you could do it again. And he's going against Sun right now. Like he's out. Yeah.
Would you say likely for him?
Yeah, likely. I won't say imminent, but definitely likely.
Okay. All right, we have Tella. Next.
Yeah, definitely Vince. Tella, I think maybe coin flip.
It's interesting because I almost feel like it's less likely for him to die than for Billy because of the whole, let's just say the negator powers are removed at the end of the story. He could go and be the singer that he was before.
Right.
And I know previously we're not trying to ship characters, but I was just thinking Tella and Kururu could be a cool pairing if they both have an interest in music. And so far as we know, Kururu doesn't really have a love interest. And then there was also that one line during the spring arc to where Tella was like the only person who her power worked on, or like the only person who it didn't work on. Like he specifically was by himself as it related to her love power. So because of that, I'm just kind of looking
No, I agree
forward
with you.
thinking. I'd probably say like the top of unlikely is where I would put him.
I guess the only reason why is because I'm thinking about like, just going against war. Like,
Hey,
I
that's a
feel like
tough
anybody that's
matchup.
going against him, I feel like they're all somewhat likely. Like coin flip, like
Yeah,
whether it's Creed, Billy, or Tella. But
it's
like
not
based off of
looking
what you
good.
said, I really would want to see that. So, hmm, I would personally still say coin flip. Like he would probably be at the bottom of coin flip
Okay, I'm okay with that.
because that battle's definitely gonna be gruesome.
Man, I'm not looking forward to that. They're already like ducking for cover, and this guy's just standing there menacingly in the sky like a Bleach character.
Creedy boy,
Creed, the commander.
likely.
I would say even more so than Void.
Yeah, everything about it is like very likely.
Okay, so let me put my crystal ball on early. Is this the character next that you were thinking for shocking?
Nope.
No? Okay, interesting. All right, so where would you put Chikara then?
Shikara is funny. He could go on any of these based on what happens to him and just his motivations and dreams and goals. Like, but really, like realistically, he's suffered so much that I think he's safe. So I mean, but then again, like just think about like Luke 100 and what he was doing in Ragnarok that time. Like he's prepared for death. Put it like that. He's prepared for it. And honestly,
He's
they have to take him out. He's like the first person they have to take out, aside from like Juiz, Julia, if want to say.
all of the attention is on him because he is almost, and I say almost because I know there's Creed and Void providing him support. He is almost single-handedly holding back Sun from destroying the planet.
Yeah, I'm gonna say unlikely, realistically, but like it's just the fact that we know he's a character that's prepared to die. I have to give it little present. I have to give a little bit to that. I'm not gonna say not a chance. So.
See, the thing is, Chikara, he is a child, but I would say he's an older child than any of those three in Unlikely. I could see him dying first out of all three of those other members of the Unlikely tier. So I would personally have him at the top.
And plus, it would be sad too if Tezuka actually did do that, because like we know his dreams and goals. Like we know everything about him. He's kind of he's technically a complete character. That's kind of what makes me even feel that way.
Yep.
But yeah, I agree with you, Vince. I don't think it will happen, but I gotta at least put him there just because of previous stuff.
Okay, we have one of the twin sisters next. The first one is going to be Latla.
Nah, I don't think she'll die this time. Plus, that kind of like goes all against Rips. Like his whole she's not dying.
Granted, her power does allow her to avoid nearly every attack that is thrown her way.
Yep.
So just her defenses are the stonks chart, they're going up. Do I want to say not a chance?
I only won't say not a chance. I probably put her on unlikely, but just because I feel like Sick is gonna do some bullshit. Like he was humiliated first out of the Master Rule, so I kind of feel like he's going to cause the most
pain.
Yeah.
I'll put her last.
And especially like you pointed out Rip earlier in the chapter, how he was already
struggling.
I don't know. Sick is a little. I don't know. I'm kind of scared of him.
He's a problem.
Even if he's quote unquote the weakest, which is whatever. I mean, if quote unquote the weakest, whatever. But he seems like he low-key could be the most dangerous based off of. He needs to get back.
All right. Next up, we have Bax, the funny little mascot.
Not a chance.
Not a chance. I would say around Lucy. Like, she doesn't even have her power this loop. So she's not on the battlefield,
Yes.
it is not going to be a problem. I know. Yet.
Yeah, I agree with Vince.
What do you say?
He's saying that she won't die, and she doesn't have like any development, and salty about that in this loop.
For now.
Which is weird because she's one of the first, main
Her, Phil, and
antagonists.
Lucy are just in
characters.
such a weird spot at the moment. Like,
Yeah.
Tozuka has purposely given development to everyone. Even Ruin's had more this loop than either one of those three.
Yeah.
Phil kind of on the edge. But anyway, moving on, we have the Doctor Rip Tristan.
Based off of how serious, obviously in this fight against Andy, about what he wanted to do, the whole thing with Arc, next loop, Layla, Latla, I might just have to put him in coin flip. Because he's just that kind of character. He's very selfless, even though it was this quote unquote selfish act. Last one, not really, but we understood him why he did it or wanted to do it to get Arc. But once again, it's against Sick. It's really it's because of Sick. If they weren't matched up against Sick, I think I'll feel a little bit better.
It's like, I don't know if you guys have ever played sports, but it's like when you're asked to, do conditioning, and the coach tells you like, oh, just run for 5 minutes. And at the 4-minute mark, you're like, this has been a half an hour. How much longer do I have to go? I feel like that's Rip in this fight. Fuuko's 10 minutes, and he's like, oh, I'm dying over here. Coin flip's good. I would say above Tella.
Yeah.
I think it's more likely that he dies than Tella dies.
For sure.
Next up, we have Engine.
He good, because we're going to chill with him in that vlog eating some ramen. He's good.
I think, the ramen cook, I think he has enough kind of tying him to the story, and his power, without it, we are screwed.
And the boy Phil going to eat all the ramen.
Latla.
And Usma, she's going to be able to eat, and her power won't.
I'm going to put him behind Latla because I think it is almost he is almost guaranteed to have a spot in the epilogue.
Yeah. And plus, another reason why we're ranking certain people in certain ways is because, based off of, just their roles and what could happen. So, when we talked about Chikara, that's well, yeah, he's, one of the first targets you got to go against. And Engine, same thing. He's going against anything that has to do with fire. So, it's there's dangers there, so I wouldn't put him in out of chance because there's some dangers there, but we can eat some ramen, so we good.
Okay, so much like our conversation about Nico, I feel like Ichiko is almost guaranteed to survive, so I will put his wife next to him. Quick and easy. Don't really need to talk about that too much. Okay, Shen Jiang is next.
All right, Vince, have a good one, man. Welcome back once again.
Thank you.
You're always free to pop in whenever. You don't got to worry. Focus on your studies. Focus on that. We'll always be here. Yep. So, funny enough, this is actually my shocking one.
Ooh, do tell.
It's more of a playful one. Or not playful. It's I'm being serious. I don't think it's going to happen too much, but based off of our conversations, right, about Fang and Shin, I'm thinking about it the opposite way. What would it mean to Fang if he's seen Shin die? Because remember, this whole thing is about the students and next generation, his disciples, how he treated them last loop and any time prior, and in this one where he's they both have the same goal. So technically speaking, without narrative elements, one of them has to achieve that goal. And I just think it'll be kind of interesting if his pupil did die, because then that will make Fang it will complete his character growth too, and it'll make him because he's the dad, the mom, the dad, both. So I don't know. It'd just be really sad to see something like that happen. You don't see it happen too often in shonen. It's mostly like the teacher dies, sensei dies, and then you have to avenge them. But just imagine if it was the opposite, because we already know Shin. Honestly, and I'm gonna be real. There's really not much he can do that'll make me like. If we do like another tier list, which we will probably do when series ends, he ain't gonna go that far up. If anything, he'll be at most like a B.
He's kind of locked in because of how much he was not focused on.
Yeah.
Since we got the focus during summer. I'm gonna kind of come at it from a different direction. What if Tozuka just like triples down? He's like, Shen has never been a main character. I don't know why you guys keep thinking he's a main character, but I'm just gonna go ahead and do this so that you guys will stop talking about him like he's a main character, because he is now dead.
I think he's definitely aware, because like this character seems like he
he's
has some
gotta
kind of
be,
promise,
right?
or at least I know he probably planned for it at some point. Then he just changed up.
With how much focus he got in the first season, and then what we now know to be summer for season 2 or like the winter special, I just don't understand why he's gotten so little focus ever since.
It's really weird.
It's
like
a
crazy
Toy
fall
Story meme, like I am dropping the toy, like I don't want to play with you anymore. I don't want to write for you anymore.
It's so weird. Like I guess every series has that one character that's like that. I don't understand why. I will say at least he wasn't a character that fell from like grace. I wouldn't say he fell from grace. He had potential and he fell. He didn't reach the potential. Like falling from grace is like a Rock Lee or something like that, where it's like everybody loved Rock Lee, and then Kishimoto say, "Oh yeah,
sour taste in my mouth."
Yeah. You see, so it's like, but I think this would be pretty fucking cool if he did, because then what does that do for Mui too?
Yeah, we'll get to her a little bit later, but yeah, I love that pick. I love that ranking. So let's move on to a subject of today's chapter, that being Juiz. So 1, do we think she's going to come back? And 2, do we think she's going to come back just to die? I would say very unlikely. Yeah. So that's like, I think it's in like electronics or like electrical engineering. It's like you have a multiple operator or multiple choice type of system set up. Like if not A, then B, if not B, then A, something like that. So we need 2 things to happen for her to die. We need her first to come back, and then 2 for her to die.
I think it would be imminent, because like in whatever way she does manifest, whether it's like spirit or not, I guess technically she's going to come back and then she's going to go away for good. I don't see her coming back and staying,
I had the opposite reasoning. I thought maybe if she did come back, she would be 100% safe.
Really?
Yeah, I think if we're going to separate Julia from Juiz, that if Juiz does, in fact, manifest in this loop, I feel like there's no way she's dying after that.
That's funny. I actually think it's the complete opposite. I think because of Julia being her own, I feel like Juiz feels like, well, I don't have a role to play anymore. Like now my reincarnation can live while I'm like done. Like I already did my duty to get Fuuko to where she's at. Technically, I did my duty to give my second self a chance at life, and she just is going to like quote unquote watch over. I don't know. Like I see what you mean. I can see it both ways. Ironically, I really can see it both ways. I just feel that her and Victor, they're going into the sunset. When they both are going to die and be together elsewhere, right?
Okay.
Yeah. Like I said, unless somehow Victor reincarnates or have reincarnated, and Julia, because no, he can't reincarnate after this, because she'll be older than him. But if that did happen, that'd be pretty cool. I don't know. I just feel like maybe a coin flip. We could just leave it at that.
Yeah, I think we'll average it out. Yeah, it's an interesting conversation. I don't think that I expected that when I pulled up this tier list. No, I could definitely see where you're coming from, though. That's a good point.
Gino.
Okay.
It's funny that was one of my when I was looking at the list. That was going to be my pick for shocking, just because you put Sean.
Yeah.
But then I was like, nah. No, only because I feel like I can see her getting like the coldest win out of everybody.
She has that MC energy, like
Yeah.
la da da. I'm not done yet.
Yeah, she's gonna get one of the cleanest wins, like a whole ultimate victory, because she has to. Because change that chick crazy.
With that being said, I do think she will get a great victory. I'm not going to say not a chance, because that is a rough matchup, and we do not know, outside of the very brief interaction between Luck and Unluck and Death and Undead, how a direct negator to rule matchup will play out.
Right.
So I don't know who has the advantage, if anyone has the advantage. Does it come down to combat ability? Is Change going to have the advantage on Gina because she has more battle experience? She's gone up against Juiz, assumedly, in the past.
That's why Sean's going to come in and die.
Yeah. So I would say maybe unlikely, but about the middle of that tier.
Yeah, and also I think it depends on Fuuko and Sean. If they survive, she dies.
If they survive, she dies.
Yeah.
Yes.
Jesus Christ! Stop driving. Right? Loud. But definitely, if they die, then she won't. But I think they will die. So she.
Okay.
Yeah.
Next up, we have Haru Ishin.
Not a chance.
Not a chance.
Because she got to still carry on the Ishin. Yeah. Even if it's no power wise, like still just the aesthetic and the title, the mantle, like that, everything with that, and then her on top. So yeah, she's good.
I would say probably right about there.
They gonna have some buff little babies, buff fast babies. They might be killing it as athletes. Oh my god, topping the Ishin's kids, man.
And that kids is how rugby was invented.
Jesus, for real. The speed and the strength, yeah, they crazy.
That's funny. All right, so next up we have Yusai.
Oh boy,
Imminent?
I don't want to say imminent because I don't know. I have my own little shipping thing. I'm shipping her an engine just because of the ramen. And remember, what was it with her when she was like eating
the rice?
The rice, right.
Stuck in her throat because
yeah. So I think if the powers disappear, she should be able to eat some ramen. And
she's a
say
bit
likely.
Of a glutton. He's a bit of a cook, yeah.
Yeah, I'll say likely. And they were in the same faction previously in Under, so I think there is something there you could do to match them up.
Okay. Yeah. Where in the tier do you think we should put her?
Okay, so Void, Creed. I'll put her. That's tough.
In the middle?
Yeah, because Creed, I don't really see anything from Creed in the future. Like, what would he do? I think he's very close to imminent. I don't see nothing from him like in the epilogue standpoint. But Yusai and Void, I can definitely see them.
The only thing I can see is because we know that the Master Rules, their rule does not get removed from the world, even if they do exist.
Oh yeah, right.
It could kind of go back to his motivations for Last Loop, where he wanted to be the ruler of nations.
But it's kind of, I think that's very fucking hard.
Well, I'm not saying that it's not, but like if you go through this experience of like a Ragnarok, you get the memories of going through the last one. Like you've seen everything there is to offer in terms of the darkness of this world, that you would make a great leader.
Right.
That's just my headcanon though, so take it as you will.
No, for sure. It's just his goal really is like the most unattainable out of anybody, damn near. Everybody has like really normal goals: photography, ramen cook, modeling, all this. And his a diplomat. Then again, I mean, he could probably get some kind of help from Fuuko since she's rich, if she's still there in the end. But or maybe she'll leave something behind for people. Oh, real quick, that'd be pretty. Damn, that'd be bittersweet. Imagine if Fuuko leaves something for everybody, like she already in advance before this war
kind
started.
of like in a will, like she's already
Yeah,
created something. Oh, I could see that. That's so Fuuko.
for everybody. I could see her like what a goo, give her
It's
something
like
like a bunny or something.
I was gonna say
Panda,
it reminds me of the letters that Deku wrote Class 1A before he left.
Exactly.
Oh, I love that. Please make that headcanon. Okay, next up, Kururu the Idol.
I was gonna say not a chance, but like I almost want to just say unlikely, just because I think we still need something from her, and if we want it to be big, I'm not trying to say that death is like but like.
But do you think that Tozuka would do that to her this time around, especially since she hasn't gotten a focus? She was the only person that we know of that was taken control of by Soul via the manipulation. I feel like she's already been through enough story-wise to where that would just seem cruel if he also killed her off.
Yeah, we could put not a chance. Plus, she music, so.
I'll put her at the top. Okay.
I was thinking because she's disposable. Sometimes certain characters, something's like, oh, that's an easy person you could just kill off. But what you said makes sense. Like, why would you even do that for a character like her? Because you already did.
I don't think that really like progresses anything. Like, what was the point of her character if you do kill her off here?
Yeah, some mangaka do that though. It's like, what the hell are you doing?
Well,
what's the point? But yeah, it's But yeah, I agree with you. So yeah, she should be there.
Okay. Next up, we have Bui.
Wait, hold on. I'll be right back.
Okay, will do. I'll get caught up on the chat a little bit. If you guys are watching and you have not already, if you could just do us a quick favor and like the stream for us. We haven't been as consistent in terms of the timing for these streams for Undead as we have been in the past recently. We got a lot of personal stuff going on, both of us. But yeah, if you could just do that for us, subscribe to the channel if you're new. We always love talking about Undead Unluck, and that could be here or in our Discord. So I do want to quickly talk about Bax while Vante is taking care of something. So it's going to be about what I want from her. Granted, last loop, she was more of a kind of like jokey, I'm not going to say like a throwaway character because she did have some great moments. But she was a child, much like Lucy was in an adult world, that the responsibilities were much more grandiose than she should have ever had to worry about. One thing that I've always been a huge supporter of is that adults should take on the responsibilities or the hardships of the world for their children. And Bax now, because she wasn't an orphanage previously, now has some pseudo parents in Mira / Void / Latla / Rip. So I just want her to live a happy life, but I don't know what that looks like. Is she going to be, I don't know, maybe an actor? I don't really know like who she is, so I can't really say what I want from her.
I think Suzuka is going to set us up for something in the epilogue order. I think I said it before.
Enough, though, kind of similar to the Shen stuff. Like, was there
honestly
really a point in doing that?
With her, it's not as egregious as Shen's, but I feel like just because she's the youngest of the bunch, she's like the most innocent out of everybody, that Tezuka will just go with like a like the point is that someone like this, nobody should experience any of the traumas that they all went through, but like just that children, next generation, they shouldn't experience this at all. And like she's just like the top of that. I don't know. That's all I can really think of. I think her ability, if the power still exists, is going to manifest, but it's going to be like in a funny way.
Fair enough. Do you think it'll be manifested this fight, or do you think it'll be maybe the epilogue only?
I think epilogue, like say it's her birthday or something, and she ends up manifesting something, and the cake is going. I don't know, something like that.
That'd be a pretty cool touch if like the powers were seemingly removed from the world, and then hers pop up. It's just like, whoa, what do we got here? All right, but going back to the tier list for a sec, we have Mui. I'm gonna say likely. Now, the reason for this is kind of twofold. First of all, she does not have a negator power presently. Secondly, with the conversation that she had with Shen, when they got done with the tournament and were in the medical room. So she said, "Didn't you promise me that we would grow old together?" And I could see that line coming back to bite Shen, to give him focus finally for his character, if she were to die before they can grow old together in the epilogue.
You know what?
Me and Shen both growing old, but then Mui and Fuuko, they could both be gone.
Another thing too, it kind of reminds me of Nico, like him when he manifested his power. Like he did have, like he was the only character that we've seen that had to go through the trauma again. And obviously Shin, he has his ability already, but like
he did not get the trauma. Good point.
Yeah. So what if the trauma does come now, but it's a little different now? Kind of like with Nico, like he has a whole different outlook. Like it's not like how it was before, where he was crazed and depressed, but he like accepted it. So I think for Shin, it's going to be something like that, where it's going to give him some resolve and conviction, and then so like the same thing would happen again, basically, like with his sister, right?
Yes.
But this time with his lover, but like, and then based off what you said about the conversation that they had, yeah. So I guess it's fair. I'll put her probably at the least likely, the least in the likely tier.
Okay. Yeah, and plus they're going up against Uma Time, so like that is not a good matchup. I would not want to go up against Uma Time.
Yeah, that's crazy. Shin, Fang, and her could all really end up dying. Any of them.
Oh my! If you could only have one of them survive, who would you say that you want to, and who do you think will survive?
So two has to die and one doesn't. Ooh.
Two has to die, one doesn't. Who do you want, and who do you think will happen from that trio?
Okay, I'm gonna go first with who I think. I think that narratively, Shin would benefit, and I know it sounds bad, but he would benefit for both of them dying.
I kind of agree.
And I think that would, if I had to choose, that would be the route. But what I want is for, not gonna lie, I think I'd want, like now when I came up with the whole Shin thing, I think I might want Shin and Mui. Just because of what that would mean to Fang. Like, honestly, if this were to happen, his students die, and then he, breaks down and he avenges them, and then he starts the martial arts thing where he's, raising his pupils, he grows old. Honestly, he might end up being in he might be like a top 7, something like that character. Just because that's some incredible growth from going from killing your disciples to raising your disciples and to envisioning them when they shouldn't die. And your whole thing was like, I don't care, I'm gonna live forever. I'm young, I can still do my martial arts. Nobody can beat me. All you stupid people that are stupid senseis that are getting old and dying and not, concerned about that. It's like his whole philosophy would change incredibly. Like,
I too
that's
think
crazy.
that Shen will survive. I think that's probably the easiest option
Yeah, for
of
sure.
the three. But I 100% agree with you. I want Fang to survive if the other two have to die, because of what that means for his, and we're even going like around the circle a second time for his character, because that would then allow us to see him in an old man form to where he has that appreciation for his students, to where he realizes he wasn't strong enough, and
Yeah. Good point.
carries on the dream of Shen of being the strongest in the verse, so on and so forth. That, narratively speaking, would be fire.
But you know something else? I think honestly, it'll be bittersweet. Well, more bitter than sweet. But I
Oh,
think
absolutely.
if none of them can achieve their dream, so like, say if Shin dies, right, and then Fang is like, well, I kind of, what's the word? I kind of, I don't want to say groomed him into that kind of mentality, like that goal, the same goal as his. Like he kind of did, or he tried to. So I think that it would be interesting. Like if Shin did die, Fang would basically like all that aspiration that he had, his goal, the selfish goal of trying to achieve that, the strongest or whatever. Plus, it's not really going to happen. Like we just know it's not based off of all the matchups. They're not the main characters, like all that kind of stuff. So I think it's safe. You could just have them like dead that dream, whether it's Fang or Shin, whichever one of the two. Just like they just don't achieve that dream. They kind of, or they just uh, change their motivations, which I think Fang, it makes sense for him to change and actually be a real sensei for the first time instead of for his game.
And especially since we have him in the imminent death tier, if he were to survive, like I would almost say that's shocking for him to survive, because
Honestly,
this whole
yeah.
time we've been thinking he's gonna die. He's gonna die. It's all for Shen. It's all for Mui. It's all for the next generation.
Yep.
If he doesn't, Tozuka's cooking. All right, that's enough about Shen, Mui, and Fang. Let's talk next about Victor.
Well, this is an interesting one because it's probably like two ways you can answer it. One, the same thing with Juiz that we talked about earlier, or two, Andy, which that's more epilogue. That's what we're thinking. So if it was before, I mean, maybe just put them in coin flip because it's kind of hard to call. It depends on what happens next.
I like that Tozuka has given himself a couple of options with Juiz and Victor, to where he could go a couple of different routes with them. He could bring him back. He could not bring him back. He can bring it back as a memory. He could have some soul meetup, like, I don't know, Farmers Meat, soulsmeat.com. But, I don't know. Yeah, I really like how he has handled both of their characters in this series. It allows him to do a lot of different things. I appreciate that. Okay, next up we have the topic of today's chapter, Julia.
Not a chance.
Not a chance.
Because there'll be no point after she just chose to be herself. Absolutely not. Would it be sad? Yes, but it would. I don't think it would be beneficial for the
It is so unlikely. It is damn near 0%.
Yeah.
All right, I will take this next one because this is actually my second shocking pick. And no, it's not just to spurn that one commenter that had an issue with me saying I think she could die. Let me explain. Unlikely she will die for a couple of reasons. One, she's not a combatant. Two, she's not here. And three, she got literally the worst end of the stick each time. She was subjected to the trauma of 2 different negators in proximity to her. So you're asking me, why would this be shocking? Because Rip is struggling at the moment. She loves her sister. She loves her husband. If she were to die, that would be shocking, because then a whole bunch of people, that commenter included, what's the point of her character? So on a different kind of aspect of what Kururu, in that conversation that we had, not a chance, I feel like this, because they are solely twins to one another, this would be able to develop that trio's relationship between one another, to where Rip could feel more so of a closer, intimate love to Latla, if Layla were to die, and vice versa for Latla to Rip. Obviously, they love each other, but in Loop 100, there was always that wedge between Layla, Rip, and Latla.
That's
my monologue. There you go.
All the points you made.
I can move her, but that's where I have her.
He said, not a combatant. Said she's not there, obviously on the battlefield. Mm-hmm. And I don't know. I feel like, like how would she even die? Is Sick doing some shit where like he actually left some sick shit on Layla from the hospital or something? I don't know.
Well, didn't it say that he had a desire to find the ill, like the ill bodies of the patients that were there? Like he was going towards the sickest person.
I think so. Honestly,
Like, what do you think? I just had my entire monologue, but I am 100% willing to move her if you feel differently.
I kind of have a feeling that if Sick does do something to her, that does something that makes her sick a certain kind of way, or like a new illness or something, or say she lost blood, I have a feeling that after the fight happens, that Rip will probably come and like save her by like giving her something, like I don't know if it has to do like with an organ or blood transfusion or something like that.
Okay.
Which would be kind of fucking gruesome. It was like a blood transfusion, like she lost her supply of blood, and then he like made it back to her, and he basically had to. He just gave his whole blood to her, even though I mean that doesn't really make sense because you should always have blood supply anyway in hospitals. But like, I don't know. It's an anime. It's a manga, so characters do shit like that.
I should know this, but I'll ask you. I say I should because I come from a science background. Do all twins have the same blood type?
I think they do.
Okay.
But I see what you're going there. Like Latla.
I could see Latla giving up some of herself. Much like another series we cover on the channel. Watch our videos, guys. I won't spoil who it was, but My Hero Academia.
Man, this trio is kind of interesting. I don't know.
Realistically,
I disagree with
Layla. Memes. Not for the memes, but like I could see a scenario in which either of the three die, but only one. There has to be at least two surviving members.
Yeah, I can see that too, for sure. I don't see, if they're not all alive, I see one die. I don't see two of them dying. Definitely dying. But if it was two of them dying, it would probably, based off a narrative, it'll probably be Rip and Layla.
I think so.
And then Layla will be by herself again. No, and then she visits the graves. No, another person visiting graves. Oh my God, no.
Oh God.
Ooh, and imagine if like they're buried in the same like graveyard. Like you have Fuuko and Rip and Latla, and then you have Andy talking to Latla.
Like, stop talking.
Because he knows about their whole situation, like from the last loop, what they're trying to do, and it's like he can like help her cope with that, like telling her that like the last loop, yeah, you and Rip both were trying to save her, and he really was adamant on trying to save all of you guys. So
would not be here if it were not for you and Rip.
Exactly.
Oh.
So. Wow, that would actually be I'm not gonna lie, like a lot of the stuff that we're saying, like these what ifs, because they might not happen, like the Shin stuff, Bang, and this trio. But if it did happen, Suzuka, hey, you're a writer. You are a writer.
The epilogue for this series, Vontae, can be incredibly sad. It can be a little uplifting, but there can be so much trauma to be had before we get to the epilogue that it's just gonna hurt. And then if you have like Akira doing like character focuses in between, like, oh, well, this is the person that Latla was. This is the person that Fuuko was. In the manga series that they're now writing because they're writing a new series. Oh my goodness.
Damn. Yeah. Suzuka honestly do it, man. I kind of think he will do some of the stuff that we talked about. Because I keep thinking back to the Master Rules. I'm like, it cannot be no clean slate or nothing even remotely close to that. I think a lot of characters have to kind of take each other out. You have to. Like, these powers are pretty much, well, obviously the Master Rules are just stronger, like, individually than the average negator, but like, all these powers in the series are broken as hell where you have to take each other out most of the time. I think you just have to. So, and there's a lot of bittersweet things to it. Like, from all of this, even though it's sad, there is some good things from it that comes out of it. Like, the stakes were there, the sacrifices that needed to be made.
Like, if we talk about Sean dying and Gina did have a crush on him but never told him, like, what would that do for her character? And then it goes back to the conversation she had with her former self about love. I just thought about something.
So remember how Sean died in 100?
Cut in half.
Yeah, and think about like just Gina and Change. Like, think about their kind of abilities, like
cutting in half.
Yeah, and like, you know, some invisibility type things here and there. You know, they do some things, some force field-ish like stuffs and manipulation of space.
Stop talking.
Yeah, I can see him jumping in the way or something like that, and then she sees him.
Gina
just
thinks she's gonna get sliced in half when in fact Sean takes the slice for her, and she's not gonna see it. Oh my god.
Oh, okay, I know a way that it can happen. Maybe not like a disc type slice, but like a you know, since Change is like DNA, where she has like a DNA type of weapon that she created, and she like stabs him, and he jumps in the way so he can kind of take most of it, and Gina might get her a little bit, or he's gotten away so that he can stop it. Because if it's like a disc cut, then both of them would get sliced basically. So something that's like jabbed or stabbed into him.
Well, not if he like pushes her down.
If you can, that's a little fast.
He's like running towards her. He pushes her down.
Yeah, honestly, that's a little too visceral. I'm not gonna lie. Maybe just get stabbed. Because like, I swear, if he like gets cut like how he did in season 1, damn. Nah, he don't deserve that. That's a little disrespectful.
He does.
That's
not.
crazy how
Like
things
Chikara.
change. That's crazy.
We love Sean. We love Sean.
It's ridiculous. Like, I can't wait to see the anime reception to him once we get to like season 4. Like, how people will, like, the ones who really pay attention to the series and like remembers him.
Mm-hmm.
I just kind of wonder if they will like rock with him a lot too.
You know, it's funny. I've been rewatching our playlist of Undead Unluck, like from the beginning, like the trailer reaction up until now, and I'm starting to see right about where Sean is about to be introduced as a part of the Brazil mission with Rip.
Right.
I'm just waiting for us to just be like, this guy sucks. And then just to see the progression of like, oh, well, he's pretty cool. Yeah, that was pretty cool. Oh, yeah, that was awesome. Sean, we love you. No, Sean, don't die. We're so sad Sean died.
Tezuka is hyper aware. He's definitely aware of like how, because like we say this all the time, but he legitimately was like one of the worst characters and ended up becoming literally one of the best characters. And people won't even argue that. Everybody agrees. Like, oh yeah, he's actually really good. It's wild. But this is our list.
Twitter the other day, and I'll just say this really quickly. Someone asked for like my top 6 characters. Sean was at 6. Remember when we said that he was the number 7 seat, and we're like, there's no way he is that high. This is blasphemy.
Oh yeah.
And I literally have him higher than 7. in that list, like currently.
If I make a
number
current
6.
list, damn, he might be like 4. Uh,
I had Fuuko,
maybe.
Andy, Ano Un, Billy, Nico, and then Sean was my top 6.
So Nico raised for me. I say Ano Un dropped. I mean, obviously, like it's not,
Just not a focus.
yeah. But I would still say they're still my top 10 just because out of respect to just that whole character, like, yeah, like you're still there for sure, and you're gonna show up in the epilogue. We know you will, so you can keep that spot. That's how good Ano Un or how Akira is. But
Solidified.
yeah, Fuko, Andy, Nico raised for me a lot. Yeah, I think Sean might be 5 or so.
Okay.
Billy
That's
probably dropped a
crazy.
little.
That's crazy. All right, guys, but like Vante said, this is our tier list, and as he likes to say, this is the only correct opinion. So if you do not share this opinion, you are wrong. We are just kidding. We love you. Thank you for watching this far. I don't know if he's away for a while or just temporarily for the background noise. Okay, perfect. A little bit of cross promotion once more. Guys, please check out Dandadan. We have been loving that series so far on the channel. Only 2 episodes in, but we will pull a Undead Unluck, coin that catchphrase, to where we're going to hop into the manga after we're done with season 1 of the anime. We are still continuing Bleach 1000 Year Blood War Core 3 this time as anime onlys. We're going to have Arcane next month, Squid Games the month after that. We're going to have Sakamoto Days and Gachiakuta in winter, and also the winter special for Undead Unluck. And that's just looking at January from today. So, anything else you want to add before we get out of here?
Nope, you can send us out.
All right, guys, so as Vante likes to say, stay safe, stay healthy, stay clean. We'll see you in the next stream or video. Peace.
Peace.